Welcome to the You Are a Force podcast channel, your go-to space for real stories, fearless dreams, and unstoppable women rewriting the rules. And the force behind this podcast. Here is your host, Binoli, Botadara.
Hi everyone, welcome to You Are a Force, the podcast where we celebrate women who define their own voice in a world where appearance is everything. They just don't shine amongst millions, but also they radiate with wisdom, science, and unstoppable confidence. I'm your host, Binoli Botadara, and today's guest is someone very, very special. She's a true trailblazer in dermatology and aesthetics. She's someone who doesn't treat skin, but she also builds confidence from inside and out. So she is India's celebrity dermatologist. She's an author of 3 bestseller books, 3-time TEDx speaker, and a global educator who is redefining beauty in real terms. From Bollywood celebrities to socializing trendsetters and people like you and I, all swear by her signature less is more approach to skincare. I cannot even wait to actually be sky on the wall and ultimately, get everything, from this particular podcast. So her expertise has earned millions and millions of accolades, but also very special. She's touched a lot of hearts and given a lot of confidence. She's also Vogue Beauty Award winner. She has won Best Skin Expert and also India's most admired beauty expert. So without further ado, it is my absolute honor to welcome radiant, brilliant, and refreshingly authentic Dr. Jaishree Sharad. Dr. Jaishree, thank you so much for being on You Are a Force.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with you.
It is so amazing. I have been following your journey since a long, long time, and this feels like, I'm actually in your clinic and actually getting the consultation done. But I want to really be a sponge today and absorb everything because you have so much to share, and I really I'm very, very interested in the skincare and the whole saga which is going on. But ultimately, this is something very important because I think skin is the biggest organ of our body, and that's something which is so important and critical to actually live and breathe in this today's day and age when everyone judges everybody. So I want to start the conversation with where you started from, because you're basically like a Beyonce of Indian dermatology. Like everyone knows everyone knows your name. And it's like, if I want to hit rewind, like when did you decide that from medicine you wanted to get into the specialization into dermatology? And how did the purely clinical journey evolve into personal brand, which you are today, in terms of a powerhouse? Because there's so many doormats, but what is that something which made you who you are in terms of your brand?
Wow. I've been asked this question a number of times, and the truth is that I never wanted to be a dermatologist.
Really?
I wanted to be a pediatrician, and then I was actually not even being a pediatrician. I was studying to be an intensivist in internal medicine, and then my mother fell ill, so I had to leave everything and be with her. And when I came back, this was in 95, 96. And I was told that, your seat is not there anymore. And maybe you can just continue doing a residency post. And then there was a dermatology postgraduate seat available, after 6 months of residency in medicine again. So I was like, okay, beggars can't be choosers. So let me just take dermatology, because that's what God is willing and probably has some other path for me. So I took up dermatology and did my post-graduation. One thing my parents taught was whatever you do it with passion and do it with sincerity and honesty. And, because Mr. Bachchan always says this. Sri Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji said, "Man ka ho to acha, na ho to aur bhi acha."
Correct.
And that's what my parents also taught me all the time. And so I said, okay, so be it. And then being that sincere student helped. And somewhere, I got lucky because I was in Nanavati Hospital, which was one of the first centers for dermatosurgery in India back in 1996, 97. And people had not heard of cosmetic dermatology so much. It was all dermatology and dermatosurgery. So when I say dermatosurgery, it was vitiligo surgery, hair transplants, acne scar revision surgeries, a little bit of laser here and there, the CO2 laser that everybody talks about today. The ablative CO2 laser was being used back then.
Wow.
So all of that. And so I gained experience in it and continued with dermatology as well as dermatosurgery. And in 2004, I was, after I graduated in 2000, I started practice because, also we needed the money, for various other personal things. So I used to work during the day, and in the evenings, I used to go to my teacher and help him and assist him. He was very kind. He allowed me to do so. And that's when I continued for about 4 years, 2000 to 2004, with Dr. Satish Sawant. And I kept trying for fellowships abroad, but every time I tried, it was expensive. I couldn't afford it. I did get something in the US, and very, very difficult. Finally, I got a scholarship and went to Bangkok. That was the most economical place for me at that time. Economical in the sense my husband had to gather a lot of money from his friends and, back me. And the fee was not there. It was because of scholarship. But, obviously the stay and the flight and the food and all of that had to be paid for. I went there, I did a fellowship in lasers and, aesthetics, and then came back and happened to be the first woman in New Bombay, now Navi Mumbai, to start aesthetic practice.
Okay.
And so how did it switch from dermat to aesthetics? Well, it was a very natural shift, yes, because I still do dermat. I am still a dermatologist at heart. It's not that I, don't. But the thing is that because I was with Dr. Sawant, I was also, doing a lot of vitiligo surgery and, all these sebaceous surgeries, earlobe repairs. Dermabrasions were very popular those days for acne scars, and it was very gratifying. People not getting married because of vitiligo post surgery are getting married. They are happy. The whole family is, at peace, and they're so grateful that you also feel very sort of overwhelmed and happy that, okay, you could do something for them.
Yeah.
Similarly, we underestimate acne and acne scars, and they could actually have a psychological impact on the child or even the adult who goes through those, those moments of low self-esteem and sometimes even depression. So being able to treat that, was again very gratifying. So then that's how the gradual shift happened. I said, okay, this is something new, and why don't I learn more about it? And then Botox and fillers were just about beginning to blossom, and there was nobody teaching us in India.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, maybe, this is my calling, and let me probably go and learn more about it. That's how I ended up there. And later, of course, I had a chance to go to the US. I went to Miami. I went to LA. I went to North Carolina to some of the best mentors. And I was fortunate enough to be there and learn injectables from them.
Wow, I love it. I love it. And I think they say that it takes a village, right, to actually be. And I'm so glad that your husband and your family were very supportive, and that's why we get to see who you are today. You touched upon something very important, and I want to pick your brain on that because you've multiple times said that 90% of the skincare is influenced by mental health. So, and then also you just spoke about, how people don't get married, and, that there is some sort of obsession with this certain looks and the skincare and the skin rather, like a fair skin and whatnot. So can you tell us one of the stories or anything which, in the moment you thought that, you were just healing someone and which actually the skin transformed, and like you said, people were getting married. Is there anything which actually touched and then you felt that, okay, you've touched lives beyond just the face?
I think it happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it happens all the time. There's no one story because um, when people come to you, back in the day, especially when they would come to you, there's always a trauma. There's always, people are making fun of you because of your acne, or they're making fun of you for your acne scars or your hyperpigmentation, or you are being looked down upon because you have vitiligo, and then, men also will not express so much, but even females for that matter, whoever loses hair, people who lose hair are again, losing their confidence, their self-confidence. So every time you sort of help them out, you see them blossom. You see how, for the first time, this child will come to you, maybe a 19 or an 18-year-old with a lot of acne and a lot of scars. And then gradually you walk them through, it's not just a prescription.
Sure.
It's also holding their hand. It's also telling them about lifestyles. It's also telling them that, well, this is normal, but it's a journey and we'll go through it together and clear your face. And, do not aim at having something flawless, and just getting a clear, radiant skin is what we aim at. And let other people not have the key to your happiness. So when you hold their hand, their hands like that, and walk them through and treat them, and then their face clears up over a period of time, maybe 6 months, 8 months, sometimes even a year.
Yeah.
And then you see that they have just suddenly, like a 360-degree turn.
Yeah,
They've
become a different
become
person.
confident, like as if a
Yeah,
butterfly comes out of a cocoon. Suddenly they're
absolutely.
confident versions of themselves. And it's really nice, whatever you treat, whatever skin condition you, even an eczema for that matter, it can be very, very disturbing, because if you're constantly having to itch the body, some part of your body, and you can't focus on anything. I have eczema, so I know how it is. And that can be really bothersome. And then if you get treated for that, it's a different kind of release that happens. And
Yeah.
then I've had stories where women have had personal issues. There was this lady who would come to me and do all the possible treatments, that I could offer to her. As you rightly said, I believe in less is more. I'm very conservative. But she would keep coming back, and she would keep saying, this is not right, that is not right. She did not have a body dysmorphic disorder. Now, there are a certain amount of people who have a body dysmorphic disorder, and
What does that mean?
that means, today they find their lips very thin. Then you do a lip filler. Then tomorrow they'll find the cheek is asymmetric. Then you figure that out. Then the day after they'll say, okay, my arms are not perfect. Then they'll say, oh, my abdomen's not. Then they keep doing surgeries after surgeries after surgeries, not just fillers, Botox, not just lasers, please, but lots of surgeries. So they're constantly trying to look in the mirror and find faults in themselves. So that's a body dysmorphic disorder. But there are a set of people who don't have these disorders, but they're just very unhappy from within. And I remember back in the day when I had started, 25, 26 years ago, this is my 26th year of practice. You're very young, so you don't really understand. You sort of,
Yeah.
why is this lady never happy with whatever I do, to the point that sometimes you feel like, maybe I should not be treating her, because I don't think I'm the right kind of person, because she's never happy. And then you begin to doubt your own self, your own expertise, that, maybe I'm not good enough because she is just not happy. So one fine day, this lady, almost 20 years ago, when she came, I finally decided to sort of tell her that, listen, I think you should consult with somebody else, because I'm no good. Whatever I do,
For
you're not
you.
happy.
Yeah.
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 So she broke down, and I was like, "What happened? I mean, did I say something wrong? Because this is the best I could offer for you."
Mm.
So she said, "No, Dr. J, I'm trying to look my best, and whatever it is, my husband doesn't look at me. Whatever I do, however much I do, he doesn't look at me." So her story was that she was actually trying to look good for her husband and not for herself,
Mm.
you know. And then I realized that it's so much. Every person comes with a story, and you have to look at the other side of the story
Mm.
and hold their hands, um, and try and understand why is a person behaving a certain way. You
Mm.
know, why is there so much negativity, or why is there so much grief, or why is there so much apprehension, or why is there, like, okay, so many questions.
Mm.
Sometimes they've gone to three, four other doctors and done so many treatments and have had certain side effects. So they come,
Yeah.
finally, when they come to you,
They feel
and these
safe.
things often happens, you're bombarded with questions because they are already very, they've had bad experiences.
Yeah.
So initially, I used to get very upset, and also, to be honest, a little irritated
Yeah.
that, why do you question me? Because I have my expertise. But then I realized, no, it's their baggage.
True.
It's what they have experienced, and they are just asking you out of that fear. And
Correct.
they're trying to make sure that they don't go through that same experience all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is why it's all a mind body connection, and
Correct.
whenever you're stressed, it reflects on your skin.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know your cortisol goes up, your good hormones will come down, and whether it's dark circles, hyperpigmentation, acne, hair fall, collagen breakdown, fine lines, dilated pores, everything will, even skin disorders, even an eczema or a psoriasis or a seborrheic dermatitis or a pemphigus will increase with stress.
Mm.
So everything that we're talking about when it comes to skin,
Yeah.
there is a definite mind-body relationship.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And I have so many, thoughts coming when you were telling me. But few things I really want to pick up. When you were saying about, people come and tell you, or maybe teach you, what you should do. I was actually one of those. So I have a lot of acidity issues. So I used to Google it, treat myself in whatever ways, So one day I was just crying, and my mom was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take you to a gastroenterologist," and he's my uncle. And I went and I told him as if I'm a doctor, like, this is a problem, this is what I'm doing, this is what should be done, blah blah blah. He was just quietly listening to me, and then he actually turns and he showed me what's on the wall, and they were his degree certificates, and he had framed and kept it. And I'm like, "That's your degree?" He's like, "Do you think that I Googled and I got that? No, right? I studied, I practiced, and that's why I'm sitting here. So now you shut up and listen to what I say." And that day I learned that just by, and today we're so hooked on to like Google and, social media
Social
validation.
media, oh my God, yeah.
Oh, yes. And everyone thinks
Influencer,
that they are the
influencer.
expert.
Yeah, yesterday we had, a friend of mine had posted a reactionary video where this lady who is an MBBS is calling dermatologists rubbish. She's saying, "Oh, they give you funny prescriptions, and we are the real people who treat. We are looking at aesthetics and some rub nonsense." So I felt so sorry for her because uh, just by doing some 3-month course or an observership, you do not get to learn the anatomy, the physiology, the pathology. The problem will come when there is a complication and you don't know how to handle it because you don't have the knowledge, you
Correct.
know.
Yes.
So it's yeah. I mean, I felt a little sad, and I wanted to sort of repost that story, and then I said, okay, just let it be. Yeah,
I
all these
know.
kind of things happen nowadays.
I know, I know. And then that's when, people make mistakes, and then people would come to somebody like you to find like the safe space. Because I realized that, you just don't touch skin, I think you touch the souls. And I'm so glad that, you have created that sort of safe space for your patients to come and be vulnerable in front of you, because I'm sure you have seen them in such close proximity, and anyone for that matter. And that's a perfect segue to my next question, that you have treated A-lister celebrities who are, I mean, this, the faces, I mean, their body is their business, the face is what sells. So in like the lights and cameras and a lot of effects and everything, what is that one thing they cannot hide or dodge, even with filters or lightening cream or makeup brushes or anything for that matter, and you still convince them that less is more?
Uh, you cannot fake uh, clear skin, whatever you do,
Okay.
right? That, yes, makeup will do it, but how long are you going to be in your makeup? Not all the time.
Hmm.
So when it comes to blemish-free, even toned skin,
Hmm.
you will add filters today, but for how long?
Hmm.
And I think that is something that, and then of course, the other thing is people who have acne scars, whatever you do, the scars still remain because the light falls and then it reflects and the scars get more
Sure.
prominent. That's the physical part of it. But
Hmm.
if you don't have clear skin, you can't keep faking it.
Hmm. So that's the key.
If you have radiant skin from within and you apply makeup, it shines even more. It's
Sure.
brighter,
You
right?
enhance it.
You
Yes.
have to enhance it. So that's one thing I tell them. And the other thing is that, just um, be the best version of yourself, right? Enhance features that you have
Hmm.
instead of trying to ape and being like somebody else. And I teach science. I show photographs of overdone faces or videos of overdone faces, and I do a reality check, and that's very important, you know.
Wow.
Um, because sometimes it's very easy to get swayed
Carried away. Yeah.
and you sort of look a particular way and you don't even realize that you're looking abnormal because for you that's become the normal.
Normal. Yeah. Yes.
Brain has and your eyes have trained your mind in such a way that you feel, oh,
The new normal.
my full cheeks, my apple cheeks are normal, my huge dark lips are very normal.
Yeah.
Or
Correct.
sometimes you find the lip, there's a lip outline, the filler has migrated there, and you feel, oh, it's normal, I'm looking very good. So that's where I will be very straightforward and do a reality check and say, hey, listen, I think wherever you've done this or whatever you've done, or, it needs to be taken out.
Yeah.
Or do not do it because then you tend to look like this. And I think it's very important to stay natural and look like the best version of yourself. Now, am I saying don't do treatments? No, I also do treatments
Hmm.
on myself, right?
Hmm.
So a little bit of tweaking is nice.
Sure.
Do not cross the line.
Sure.
That's what it is.
I think that's amazing to learn, because I always wonder, like you are talking about the videos. I have so many memes or so many videos which I keep sharing with my friends. And I live in London. Whenever I go to Harrods, literally, I'm not kidding, almost every woman looks the same who, I mean, they've come from UAE or wherever, and they have duck lips and then big boobs, and there's a certain kind of look which everyone has. And I always wonder, and that's actually I wanted to know, because injectables is actually 25 billion market by 2030. It's going to touch 25 billion, and that's bizarre. So, is it because of empowerment? Because I have money and now I can do whatever. I mean, kudos to them, it's their body, their face, whatever they want to do. But is it because I have money and I feel empowered? Or is it because I'm very insecure with what I have? Or is it like a cultural thing because everyone else in my surrounding is doing? What do you think is actually the reason why suddenly there is so much of craze about looking in a certain way? If you can share your views.
You've actually answered the question because a certain segment um, will want to do certain things because it's cultural. Now, when you said UAE, most people there like bigger lips. I remember once I'd asked a friend of mine, who's a very good dermatologist and a very good injector. And I said, hey, but why are these lips looking like, actually abnormal? Like all of them, as you rightly said. He said, Jay, they love it like that. That's the culture. That's the way they love it. They like, those pronounced dark raised brows. They like those duck lips. So be it, So it's their choice.
Sure.
It may not be the ethnicity, but maybe that entire the culture there.
Correct.
Then there is one segment which sort of really gets influenced by social media, and that's a huge segment today, right? So when they look at their heroes, their actors, their idols, and these days the Kardashians and the Gigi and the Bella Hadids and all of them and so many more, I don't even know the names, they are the idols. And so when they are doing certain things, it's a huge hype. Everybody wants to do the same thing. If they are getting fillers done in a certain way, they want to, people want to get it done. If they are dissolving their fillers, people want to dissolve their fillers. If they are doing Morpheus 8, they want to do Morpheus 8. If tomorrow they say, oh, Morpheus 8 is not good, they don't want. So it's a general hype, and this whole social media influencing that is playing with your mind. That's another thing. And then there is insecurity. Now, because you have also got filters and you've got so many different apps where you can change the way you look. I kid you not, sometimes I have seen some of the people I know and I'm like, wow, I should have a nose job. And the next day when she's come to me, she's absolutely like, her normal self. And I'm wondering, like, what did you, that was an app. So, yeah. So that then there's that. And when people, everybody has access to Instagram now. I mean, I see, my housekeeping staff are hooked onto it, or in the people on the streets and people who are cleaning the streets, everybody's hooked onto it.
Yeah.
And then you have, the younger college going students, and then you have the regular people who see all of this and they have insecurities, and everybody wants to start looking wow. Right? So nobody realizes that they're all beautiful. We are all beautiful in the way we are. And somebody has to come out there and tell people that, hey, you are beautiful the way you are. And you just need a little bit of grooming. If you feel, sometimes you just groom and then you look lovely, right?
Yeah.
And you have, if you have acne, you have hyperpigmentation, you have uneven skin tone, you treat all of that. Something's really nagging you from your childhood. You've got like everybody at home has a very sharp nose and probably you do not, and it's nagging you. Please go and get a nose job done. There's no harm in that. But then let it end at that. Don't let that then take you to another level and say, oh, now I think my arms are bulky. Let me do that. Oh, I think now my boobs are very small. Let me do a boob job, or whatever, So something that's constantly, there has to be an end to it.
Yeah.
So those kind of insecurities. And then there are insecurities in the media per se. There's a constant competition. And also, as you age, you have insecurities, right? I mean, we all have insecurities. I had insecurities when, I figured that very recently I developed calcaneal spurs and I wasn't able to walk. And I was like, what is happening to me? It may not be a big deal, but it does wreck your mind even for those few minutes or hours or days till you again figure out stuff, right? So things like that will play. We're human and they can play on our minds, and there could be insecurity. So you have all of this. You said which one? You can't pick one. It can be any of these.
Sure.
Put together, and there is so much out there now. Everything is available. Everything is visible, and it's all about flaunting yourself. And it's all about being confident also. So there is a good percentage of people who want to feel confident. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you want to feel confident.
Right.
Then it's about which path do you choose? How are you becoming confident?
Yeah.
Do you think doing these treatments makes you feel confident, or do you feel just being the best version of yourself makes you confident? Or do you feel like, oh, if I were like my favorite actor, or if I could have skin like hers or features like hers, then I become confident, or even a
Yeah.
man for that matter?
Yeah.
So that's where, the crux lies. That's where you may make a mistake if you don't have somebody holding your hand and guiding you properly.
True, true, absolutely, absolutely, I agree. And I think what I really understand is that how you've been brought up, I think the parents play a very pivotal role. Like my mother, or rather both my parents, ever since I was a child, they actually celebrated the way I looked. My mom has a lighter skin tone, but she never put that into my head that I'm darker or whatever. And every time I would just dress up and come out and like, oh my God, you look so pretty. Oh, I like what you've done, and silly things, right? But so I never looked at myself and thought I'm less of anything, When if you don't like me, it's your bad, You have a bad choice. There's nothing wrong with me, and I think that something when I was growing up, I didn't realize, but that made me so secure and comfortable in my own skin. So I think all the parents also, especially mothers, should do that. I really genuinely
I,
believe.
I couldn't agree more, because I do have patients, mothers coming in and saying, oh, she's very dark, do something about it, and oh my God, I think her features are not good. And I think, oh my God, she's fully scarred. These kind of things should be
Imagine.
banned. Parents should understand, because then the confidence of that child goes, you have
I
scarred
know.
the child.
It's so
And
sad.
then it does, when you grow up somewhere, it will play. Like for me, I was scarred for life when people used to make fun of me, saying, Tingu, or she's short, or she doesn't have a personality because she's short, and all of that. And for a very long time, I was a very, very quiet child. You won't believe it. I was a very quiet child. I couldn't. And even today, if you put me in a crowded place, in a party or something, I will go and sit in a quiet place, unless I am with my five close friends. There I can really be
Be
like a
yourself. And
lioness, yes, be
yes,
myself. But
yes.
otherwise, I can't, because that's the kind of, probably that scar that has stayed since the time I was in school. And that happens. You're absolutely right. That really happens, and parents need to understand that, and not just parents, teachers, friends around you,
Yeah, yeah,
colleagues. I mean,
yeah.
your relatives. Everybody.
I agree. I totally agree. And I've seen so many times people around me, they're so insecure. And then they actually end up, getting married just because there's no one else out there who is going to like them. And they live the life where they're so unhappy just because they had to settle for less. And that's something which I feel genuinely very sorry, because it's so deeply rooted with your looks and aesthetic. And, when around me, there are so many people in London, they use fake tan, and then I'm like looking at, and I'm exotic here because there's not everyone
Color.
looks like me,
Yeah.
and everyone is like, oh my God, you look so pretty. And I wonder that in India everyone is trying the other way to look fairer, to look more blonde, and the color and whatnot, and it's a vicious cycle, and it's a circus out there. So I think what you're saying makes total sense. I think a lot of people have to be very sensitive. And when I come to India every year, as soon as someone sees me, the first thing they would say, "Oh my God, you've lost so much weight," or "You have gained so much weight, your hair, blah blah blah." Every person who meets you, their first reaction is how you look, whether
Yeah.
you've become fatter, thinner, darker, whatever. And that irritates me. Maybe I used to do that too, but now since I've become aware of it, I think I feel that that's a disaster, and no one should do it. Body shame, skin shame, I don't know, whatever, but it's atrocious. And I really want to know that we talked about this because the skincare is like every aisle is full of skincare. And again, it's a 7 billion market, which is going to be by 2030. And maybe 17 billion by 2033, because the pace at which the celebrities are, coming into the skincare, also the social media, rising income, everything which we have talked about. So how do you actually decide what's right for you? Because there's so much out there, like we discussed. So because a celebrity is endorsing something, or an influencer, or your friend is using, how do you understand something which is right for you, even at different price points?
See, first of all, we need to understand that our skin is unique. Every skin is unique, right? Your skin is not the same as your best friend's skin or your favorite actor's skin.
Correct.
So, what is very good for them may be very bad for you. You need to understand that. So, do not get influenced by anybody. So, a cream that is, which has worked wonders for somebody may cause scarring or burns or irritation on your skin. So, that's the first golden rule. The second is that always, I think one visit to a dermatologist is a must.
Okay.
In your probably late teens, you should go to a dermatologist.
Okay.
The third is your skin is always talking to you. So listen to it. My first book was called Skin Talks. Okay. And why? Because it's telling you that, you know what, today I'm feeling very dry, or I'm feeling oily today. Chip hai, it's oily, it's sticky, it's greasy. Or, oh my God, I feel like very itchy, or I have a rash. So it means I'm getting sensitive. My barrier is compromised. Or I'm turning yellow. Maybe I have a liver issue. Or I'm turning pale. Maybe my hemoglobin is dropping. Or, I'm shedding a lot of hair. Maybe I have thyroid issues. I've got pigmentation. Maybe I've got, again, thyroid. Or, I've got acne. Maybe I have polycystic ovaries. So your skin is constantly talking to you. Listen to your skin.
Okay.
And then, there's a very simple test that you can do when you wake up in the morning. Wash your face thoroughly, wait for an hour, don't apply anything. Then take a very thin tissue paper, those really thin ones, almost transparent ones. Take that and dab your face with it after an hour of washing. And then if you see that the entire tissue paper is smudged all over, you know that your skin is oily. And if you see that it's only some places where it's smudged, that means you have combination skin. And if nothing is there, you have normal skin. And of course, if you have dry skin, you know your skin is dry. If you have sensitive, that means it's itchy, it breaks into a rash. That's sensitive skin. If you develop blackheads, whiteheads, acne, with anything that you apply, you have acne-prone skin. Or if you are developing pigmentation, dark spots, your wounds are not healing, they heal with a dark spot always. Or, at the drop of a hat, you tan, then you probably have pigment-prone skin. So this is how you understand your skin. And if you are confused, just please go and consult with a dermatologist once. Know your skin type and then buy your products according to your need. Having said that, your skin type can change with age, with hormonal imbalances, with hormonal changes, with medicines. Like if you're an Accutane, your skin can get very dry. If you're on Accutane for acne, or if you are on steroids, your skin will change. It could become thinner. It could become more sensitive. If you, from Mumbai, if you go to London, and if you have oily skin, it can get normal there because it's the climatic change. If you have normal skin here, it could get dry there in London, right? So skin type also changes. And so you need to, again, adjust to that and understand it and then buy your products. Now, do you have to buy something very expensive? Not necessary. Something inexpensive will also work for you, provided it is a reputed brand.
Sure.
Because then the research, the preservatives, the raw materials, all of that has to be authentic. Okay. Everything expensive need not be good, because don't forget there's a lot of packaging, the marketing, the PR, whatever, all of that goes into that beautiful looking expensive jar of whatever skincare. So that's the the long and short of it.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I love skincare. If you would open my shelf and you'd be like, at least there is thousands of pound worth products because I genuinely get carried away. But I do use a lot of drugstore brands like maybe CeraVe or La Roche-Posay and those, and they also work. And then I eventually found out they're part of the Estee Lauder, and then ultimately it's all the same. They market to the similar customers with different price point from £5 to £500. So it's not that they're going to put bad ingredients into a £5 jar. So it's you have to be sensible enough, and I think
Yeah,
it's the right
that's
advice.
it. You said it. It's all a part of Estee Lauder, like you said. Whether there used to be L'Oreal, so L'Oreal is La Roche-Posay and
Estee
Skin
Lauder is
City
CeraVe.
and all
Yeah.
of that. Now, having said that, as you rightly said, the ones which are lower priced actually may have higher concentration and they may have more efficacy than the ones which are cosmetic and they are nicely packaged.
Yeah, because
Their
it's
concentration will be less because people will just go and buy it.
yeah.
And the ones which are like, for example, like a La Roche-Posay, will have a like a higher concentration. So it'll be
Mm,
efficacy wise, it'll be much better, but it's not really nicely packaged as compared to its counterpart from the same company.
yes.
You know, that's the hindsight of it.
It's really interesting, right? I mean, how they play minds of us in terms of the look and feel. But I really want to know that what are the three ingredients which are your lifelong best friends and which one should actually look out for? You've talked about moisturizer, retinol in a couple of your talks. So anything you would definitely say that they are your best friends, and at what age also one should start looking into the skincare or the anti-aging? Should you start at early 20s or even earlier or later? So if you can give us your wisdom on that.
So, again, why are we chasing anti-aging? Doesn't make sense. It's all about skincare and self care.
Mm,
So that should start very early. In
okay.
our Indian culture, we
Yeah.
start when the baby is born, when the child is born, right? We're using besan, we're using malai, and we're using curd. What is all that? That's cleansing.
True. True.
Oiling, you're oiling, you're using whatever types of oils,
I
coconut
never
oil,
thought like
palm oil.
that.
That's
Yeah.
moisturizing. When
True.
you take the baby out, you wrap the baby in cloth and make sure that there's no sun exposure without using a sunscreen. So you're actually starting your skincare right when the baby is born and you have to continue,
Wow.
right? And after the age of 25, usually there's a 1% reduction in your collagen per year,
Okay.
right? So I think that's the time when you actually, if you want to use anti-aging ingredients, that's the time you start. But things like sun exposure also will cause rapid aging of premature aging of the skin. So sunscreens should be started, when you're in school. You have pediatric sunscreens.
Okay.
Moisturizer, again, you after a certain age, your dead skin will accumulate. It's not going to follow the 28-day cycle. It stops to exfoliate on it's slower. The exfoliation process is slower.
Okay.
So you will need to sort of exfoliate, maybe this is usually after the age of 25, maybe once, depending on your skin type. If it's too oily, then you do it every week. If it's dry, you do it once in maybe a month or once in a fortnight. So that's important. Using a moisturizer is very important. So these are things that you start in your school. Of course, by this, I do not mean follow the 10-step Korean skincare routine when you're in school and college.
Sure.
Definitely not. I'm saying you can start using a moisturizer and a sunscreen and eating healthy and sleeping on time when you're in school and college, say up to the age of maybe 22, 23, you can do away without serums. You do not need serums.
Okay.
And then maybe you can introduce serums into your skincare routine.
Sure.
Now, coming to your question as to what are the three ingredients I swear by, I love retinol.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I love retinoids, and I love tretinoin, which is a prescription drug, which is the highest potency retinoid that is available. But of course, you should start with the mild one, like a retinaldehyde or retinol, and then slowly move up to
Yeah.
higher concentrations and the more potent retinoids. Cannot use if you are planning to conceive or if you're pregnant. Very, very unsafe. So stop 3 months before that.
Okay.
And all genders can use retinoids. Men, please feel very happy and free to use retinoids. They're a very versatile ingredient, good for acne. We give it at the age of 16, 17 in cases of acne. But if you want to use it for anti-aging, you can start in your late 20s.
Okay.
And always start with once in a week, then twice in a week, then go up to 3 times a week. So let your skin adapt to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's purging, sometimes there's a little bit of dryness, sometimes there's a little rash. So all of that, sort of improves over a period of time. Do not stop or throw it unless you have severe irritation, burning, itching, flaking, then the retinoid is not doing you good. But otherwise, if it's just a little bit of rash, a little redness, a little bit of dryness, or a little acne, continue using it and top it with a moisturizer. And it'll really do you wonders, whether it's hyperpigmentation, acne, fine lines, dilated pores, slowing down the process of aging. A retinoid will do that.
Okay.
And then, of course, the second versatile ingredient is vitamin C. But again, there are a lot of vitamin C formulations which are oil based, and they can sort of give rise to blackheads and whiteheads. So if you have acne prone skin, you've got to be careful.
Okay.
And if you're using L-ascorbic acid, it gets oxidized when it's exposed to sunlight. So don't use it in the day. Use the other formulations of vitamin C in the day. Whatever vitamin C you use, you always top it with a sunscreen, because you don't want that vitamin C to get oxidized. Suppose you don't know that there is ascorbic acid in it. And then it gets oxidized, loses its efficacy, and the skin tends to look a little darker. So always top it with a sunscreen. But otherwise, vitamin C, again, a great ingredient, because it's a tyrosinase inhibitor, which means it is preventing hyperpigmentation.
Okay.
It is an antioxidant, so it's protecting you from UVA, UVB, and from early breakdown of collagen and elastin fibers, which help in actually binding your skin and giving you that basic framework, these fibers. So it prevents early breakdown of that. So it's, again, very, very versatile. And the third, I wouldn't say ingredient, I would say sunscreen, moisturizer are non-negotiable. For that. And for people who can't use a retinoid, you can opt for a peptide.
Okay.
If you want an anti-aging ingredient. I think that works very well.
Okay, I loved it, but I'm still stuck at the thing which you talked about, the collagen, that every year it reduces by 1%. That's what you said. So that actually makes me wonder that about the supplements, because these days that's also it's mad that the moment you start searching about collagen, then all other supplements keep showing up on your feed. So from matcha to omega-3 to like millions of other things which are just out there. So question one, do they actually work? And if they work, then what kind of collagen, or what kind of because then there are different forms as well, right? Powder, tablet, gummies. So how one should actually decide what works for you?
Okay, I probably will give you a very disappointing answer, because when you take oral collagen, it's going to the entire body. So it is doing some good to your bones and to your joints.
Okay.
About 1 to 2% reaches your skin.
My
How
God.
is it going to do anything, right? There is very little evidence, just about 2 or 3 papers, research papers, which say that consistent use of collagen will probably improve your skin quality,
Okay.
but we're not sure. May or may not. Okay. Um, I took collagen for about 1 full year, marine collagen, because I wanted to see it for myself. I said, okay, fine, maybe it takes time for research and evidence-based data and stuff like that. And there is no harm in taking collagen. It's not doing you any.
Correct.
It's either not doing you any good, not doing anything, or it's doing some good to your bones and joints and other parts of your body. So I said, let me take it. I did, I have to be honest, find an improvement in my hair texture,
Okay.
but I did not see an iota of improvement in my skin.
I'm the culprit too because I tried taking the gummies because at 4 o'clock when I get the sugar craving, I used to love the taste. Nothing happened, okay? My skin, and that's why this was actually a question for me that I get carried away and everyone's talking about collagen and then they add powders and everyone's raving about it. And I'm like, should I actually take it or no?
So
Because,
collagen is protein, right? When you take it, it breaks into peptides and then into amino acids. So if
so
you
how do
really
you,
want collagen, then you take a good amount of protein in your diet. And the actual requirement of protein is 1 gram per kilo body weight per day anyway. So
okay.
take that much protein. And if you calculate, you'll be surprised that you probably don't even take 1/4 of it in your
Wow,
in Indian diet,
correct.
especially if you're a vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Yes, I am
So,
vegetarian.
yeah. So if you take an adequate amount of proteins, that's one good way of taking collagen. And then if you're a non-vegetarian, you have bone broth and all of that, which is very good collagen. Then retinoids, peptides, resveratrol, CoQ10, these are ingredients which will help to build collagen.
Okay.
Uh, then there are treatments like microneedling, PRP, microneedling radiofrequency, skin booster injections, exosome therapy. These are, of course, the exosome is still not FDA approved, but all the others are. And they will all help in building your collagen and improving your existing collagen and elastin fibers. So, those are established ways of improving collagen in your skin.
Okay.
Now, if you want to go ahead and take something, I would say take a collagen powder and opt for a marine collagen um, for the sake of your bones and your joints and for the sake of your feel good factor. Because once you feel good, even if it works as a placebo,
Yeah.
half your stress is gone, you look good.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll shine from within and you glow from within. So you think that yes, the collagen is working, but it's actually something else might be working too. And I want to know with the glow, I want to know about the facials because while we are growing up in India, it's sort of therapy. It's sort of non-negotiable when you want to treat your skin. But I think more I started using the skincare, I realized that I did not need the facial so much because I would go and get the facial done and there is absolutely no difference, no before and after. Sometimes that happened. And I love this brand. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but in English it's called Biological Research, so Biology Research. So I go to Paris and get the facial done. And for first 2 times there was a before and after effect, but after that there's absolutely no change. So I want to know that is it just a luxury nap time or it really actually works and would you recommend people doing it? If yes.
So I do not dissuade people from doing a facial because it's a feel good factor. It
Okay.
is a luxury nap time. Now, you said in India it was very common. Why? Because Indian women, I mean, my mom, your mom probably, our aunts and all, they were, immersed in taking care of the family 24/7,
Yeah.
right? For them, everybody else came before them.
I agree.
Even now,
No.
maybe not in metros, but a huge
India
amount of
chief was
population
it.
in India
Yeah.
per se. So then, if you step out and you do something for yourself for that half an hour or 1 hour, you feel good. So it's a way of self pampering
Yeah.
and self care and self love and a little bit of a release factor. And so they were doing it. And they felt in their head that, oh, we're doing something for ourselves, for our skin, and to look better. Having said that, is it going to do anything to your collagen or elastin fibers?
No.
I'm afraid not. Is it going to do anything to your hyperpigmentation? I'm afraid not. If you have acne or blackheads or whiteheads, are you going to benefit? Yes, because not if you have active acne, you have to get treated. But if you have blackheads and whiteheads and you do a deep cleansing once in a while, one of those facials where they're extracting the comedones, it'll help, right? But that's about it. So a facial is not the path or the key to anti-aging.
Okay.
Massage this way and you will not, your skin will not age and your collagen, you will not sag. No, sagging is not a part of just the skin. Our skin has 5 to 10 layers. In this part of our skin, you have bone, then you have deep fat, then you have muscle, then you have fat again, and then you have skin. And all of them will age. It's not just the skin that is aging. So when everything ages, anyway, the skin is losing its collagen and its firmness, because elastin and collagen fibers are becoming very loose with age or with a bad lifestyle. And then all the others are also aging. So the skin, the upper layer and the fat, which is right below the skin, it's not getting its support. It's like as if the foundation is sort of melting, or the building is sort of breaking.
Correct.
And so you need to put the pillars back. And a cream is not going to penetrate, or a facial is not going to help to penetrate down to the bone or the deep fat level. The cream will only go, probably the best of creams with nanoparticles and all of that, will reach the mid dermis.
Okay.
So just these kind of facials are a feel-good factor. They may look, because sometimes they have bleaching agents, your skin will glow maybe for the next 1 week. So you want to go for a party, an event, you want to do a facial, please go ahead. But if you want to do something for anti-aging, then I think you have to do medical grade treatments. Now, I'll tell you a very funny thing. Now, these days, when people come to us for a HIFU, which is high intensity focused ultrasound, or a radiofrequency, non-surgical radiofrequency treatment like the Exilis or the Endimet or the Forma, they like to call it facials. And so we allow them to say so, because fine, they probably don't want to call it a treatment. But it's actually a proper medical grade treatment that you're doing. And you're calling it a HIFU facial, which is fine. Okay. So we combine that HIFU probably with with a hydrofacial, which is a deep cleansing, more like a medifacial. And so you call it a HIFU facial. You combine the radio frequency with the hydrofacial and call it the the RF facial. But actually, they are proper treatments that are being done. And that is what is going to stimulate your collagen fibers. That's what is going to help. That's what is going to go a little deeper. Depending on, again, these are all technique-based and device-based treatments. You can't compare one from the other. You can say that, oh, I did this treatment, but I didn't get any result out of it. What was the device? It could be a device which cost you 3,000 rupees versus a device which cost you 50 lakhs. That's the difference I'm talking about. It could be, oh, this PRP didn't work. What was the kit that was used? Because it's not just your blood. You're taking the blood, you're putting it in a test tube which has like these ingredients which will separate the blood, the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the PRP, and then is that an authentic kit? Oh, I did a peel, it didn't help. I'll tell you, there's a peel which is a glycolic acid peel, which is available for 500 rupees, and a Neostrata, which is of the same quantity, from the US, from New Jersey, available for 20,000 rupees. Very authentic. So all of these things matter. The place you go to, matters. I'm not trying to say that, oh, all the expensive things are, other things that work. It's also sometimes, yes, when it comes to all these ingredients, definitely. When it comes to lasers, definitely. But it's also the technique.
And
it's technique dependent. It's machine dependent. Yes, it's technique dependent. Somebody who understands the science, the anatomy, and then, the anchoring points, and then does the HIFU or an RF or a microneedling, will do it better than somebody who is just mechanically doing it because that somebody has learned it over a period of 3 months and doesn't have any knowledge of the skin.
I was just wondering that what if someone has a heart
It's
attack?
like,
You're not going to go to someone who has just done 3 months of some reading or some course to open your heart, right? Technically speaking, you go to somebody who is renowned and you go to someone who you trust as a cardiologist, a cardiosurgeon. So I think pretty much the same thing, isn't it? It's not as dramatic as like a heart, but I mean, how can I put myself in front of someone who doesn't even
no,
know?
why? It is dramatic. It is, I would say it is dramatic as a heart, because when you go to the wrong person, when you go to a person who has no knowledge and has just opened a boutique clinic or whatever so-called beauty boutique clinic, everything is looking beautiful around you. There are so many clinics like that these days in London, in Bombay, in Mumbai, in every
Everywhere.
part of the world. But the person is not qualified enough. And that is why you see faces which come out like aliens, right? You have those big cheeks, you have completely distorted faces. So you're giving yourself to the hands of somebody who doesn't even have the expertise.
Correct.
It's very important to understand that.
Yeah. And we used to make fun of Rakhi Sawant when she started injecting, and now almost our world looks like a.
That's a meme that's going around, I think.
Yeah.
There
Like
is a
I
meme
think
going around.
yeah. It's really funny. And also there is a meme about Jeff Bezos's wife, how she used to look before and how she looks now. I mean it's her face, she can do whatever, but it really bothers me that, the way where we're going, and also they make you look fatter than you are, with the cheeks, and I don't know.
Overdone, right? It's overdone fillers.
Yeah.
And it's a little sad because people with a lot of money also um, don't know where to go,
I think again,
probably.
it's the similar thing to the patient of yours, right? My husband has to look at me, he doesn't have to go to anyone else. Maybe that, I don't know, because you constantly want to look attractive and younger for people to like you, and maybe that. And
That's the misconception that has to be broken, right? I
yes,
think you do things for yourself to love yourself. Self-love is very important, and not to impress your spouse or your
friends or boss,
partner, your
yeah.
friends, or your social media followers, and that's something that is going to ruin not just your face but also your mental peace.
Yeah, because if you seek validation from external world, there's no end to it again. You might like something, I might not like something, and if my happiness depends on your opinion, I think that's really sad. And also, in the clinics these days, they do the blue light and red light therapies, and then there are these devices which you actually get to, wear the mask, which gives you the light, and then there are these devices which you apply the serum and then you massage. Do they actually work, and what kind of light one should use?
So, the red light and blue light have a very specific wavelength, and all these masks and a lot of things which are really cheap will not work.
Okay.
Right? Having said that, there are certain red lights, blue lights, green lights, which are available. They're slightly overpriced, but they have a wavelength which will reach the mid dermis and the deep dermis and stimulate your collagen, or they will help. Blue light helps with acne, red light helps with, anti-aging. So, but they are slightly overpriced
Yeah.
or maybe more expensive. Uh, there's one called Perfectio, for that matter. I mean, I'm not trying to sell something here, but that's something that I use. It's a red light, a handheld device. I think when I bought it, it cost around 10 lakhs or something, and now it costs 2 lakhs. But 2 lakhs is also expensive. It's
Oh,
not
of
something
course.
anybody can just afford. Also, being a dermatologist helped because I got concession. But yeah, so these are very specific devices. And then we have them in our clinics where, you can go and you can use them. But random things which are just available
Off the
on the net,
shelf.
off the shelf, or on in the digital marketing space, I don't think you should just go and buy them and do stuff.
Just because an influencer has got paid like millions to just promote it, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. I've seen influencers go to South Korea and do like 10 treatments in a day on their face, and it's become a fad now. Where are
Yeah.
you going? Oh, I'm going to South Korea to do my child. You are doing treatments that I would have done over 6 months. You're doing them in one single day. Imagine what your skin, probably that day it's going to glow
Of
because
course.
all the dead skin is off, and when light is falling on you, it's reflecting and you're looking lovely. But you are compromising your barrier, your skin barrier. You're making it more sensitive over a period of time. You need whatever treatment you do, you have to, there is inflammation and you have to allow that skin to heal. And so there has to be a certain amount of, you can do probably 2 treatments, not 10 in a day, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's like
So
going to
marketing
extreme.
and people don't realize, and it's so easy for somebody to just pay you and say, okay, do these. And they're probably not even doing it sometimes. They're probably just, faking it.
Wow.
So we need to understand that, okay, what is the reality? And with due respect to them, because probably that's their profession and
Yeah,
that's how
they're
they
making
make
money.
money. So it's all right. Nothing against them. But you have to keep your eyes open. You have to be lead enough. You have to see whether this is really going to work for you. Because again, their face is different, their culture is different, their ethnicity is different, their diet is different. Everything, their skin is unique, their skin is different, their genes are different. So, you can't be the same.
Yeah. And Dr. J, you've written books, you've done TED Talks, you've been one of the most successful doctors out there. Is there any what's next for you? Is there any skincare brand coming in, and is there anything which we might be getting as a surprise?
Sure. Um, Before COVID, I have worked on products in my name. We even
Okay.
came with the brand name and all of that. And we started giving it to my patients. And some of them did very well. Some of them caused irritation. Some of them were giving acne. It was getting very difficult. I wasn't getting the right kind of a manufacturer who could do every ingredient would be like outstanding. So if one manufacturer was giving me a good vitamin C, the other was giving me salicylic, and the other was giving me retinol, and that's not working out. I have to have one person. And my primary work is dealing with patients.
I was about to say that.
That's my primary, that's my primary forte. And then I teach a lot. So I travel around the world. I love to travel and to impart knowledge and to also learn. Because every time I'm going for a conference or for a workshop, I'm not sitting there the entire day
Yeah.
speaking and lecturing and teaching. I'm also probably doing it for 2 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours, but the rest of the day, I'm actually also a student. I'm learning from my colleagues, from
Yeah.
my mentors, from. So there's so much more. I'm also the associate editor of a very prestigious journal called the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology. I'm also on the review board of a very prestigious Indian journal, the Journal of Cosmetic. JCAS, it's called Cosmetic and Aesthetic Surgery. So there's a lot of work that I have to do apart from just seeing patients.
Yeah.
And if things don't come easy, I don't want to just make
For
things
the
for the
sake
sake
of
of
it.
selling. Because if
Correct.
somebody uses it, if
Yeah.
you better say that, wow, this is the
Yeah.
kind of product that my skin needs. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to, crack that yet, but I don't know. I mean, as I said, I did try, and then I tried for about 3 to 4 years, and then I gave up. But
Sure.
let's see.
Okay, okay. And I want to know what is your skincare routine, the morning or the nighttime routine, if you can tell us. What do you use and how do you use it? So accordingly, then we can not exactly copy, but we can get inspired?
So I use a regular cleanser in the morning. My skin is very, very dry and I have eczema. So I don't use something which has foam in it, a very mild, for example, the Uriage Creme Levante is what I love to use. And then I will use the ROC Day cream.
Mm.
It's got like a 1% retinol with sunscreen ingredients in it with, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. And then it also has moisturizing ingredients. And then I top it with the sunscreen. I use the Eucerin or the Isdin. These are my go-to sunscreens.
Okay.
I use the tinted ones because I have melasma and then I have a lot of screen time. So something which is tinted has iron oxide, it protects you from blue light. So I use that. So that's my simple day routine. And
Okay.
over that, I might just do a little bit of blush or sometimes a concealer because I do have melasma and PDL, and then a little concealer and a blush, just maybe a NARS concealer and a little
Mm.
blush.
Okay.
At bedtime, I will make sure I remove my makeup with either an Isdin, usually an Isdin micellar water or a Clinique balm.
Okay.
Um, and then I, apply the Zio or the Zo, however you'd like to pronounce it. I apply their cream. So I alternate between, a retinol and a skin brightener. Again, why a skin brightener? I don't want to become white. It's just that I have melasma.
Yeah.
So I need to use something which has hydroquinone for about 3 months. Then I give it a break and then use something with alpha butene or vitamin C or kojic acid. So I alternate.
Mm-hmm.
And the other days I use a retinol. The retinol could be ROC, it could be the Zio, it could be the Obagi. Dr. Susan Obagi happens to be a very good friend of mine, so I love to use her products,
Mm.
not just because she's my friend, but because they're really
They're really
authentic
good.
products.
Yes.
I alternate between a pigment and a retinol. The retinol is always there. And whatever I use on my face, I use under my eyes, and then I lather a lot of moisturizer on my face. It could be just any moisturizer.
Mm.
Whatever I use on my face, I make sure I use on my neck. And I don't forget to use a moisturizer on my hands and legs. I have snake skin, very, very dry. So I have to keep moisturizing even in my clinic. Um,
Okay.
Whenever I have 2 minutes, in the afternoon or something, I have a lunch break for 10-15 minutes. I will first moisturize and then have my lunch because my skin is so dry. Apart from that, my diet is very healthy. So I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't have sugar. I may have sugar maybe during festivals. Puran Poli with a lot of ghee is my favorite, so I'll
I
do
love
that.
that too. Yeah.
And sometimes the homemade gulab jamun with sugar free is what I like to indulge in, but otherwise, no. I'm not an ice cream, cake, chocolate person, so that's
Lucky you.
great. I'm very lucky. Um, so I have a decently healthy diet. I have my almond milk with soaked chia seeds, with sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds and almonds and walnuts in the morning. That's my breakfast.
Okay.
And then at about that's my morning breakfast. Then about 11:30, I have a protein shake
Okay.
uh, after my workout. On the days that I work out, which is 3 days in a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Okay.
And days that I don't work out, also I'm in the clinic, but I will still have a protein shake around that time.
Mm.
Because 3 days in a week, I start work at 9. The other 3 days, I start at 11.
Okay.
So, but I still have a protein shake. And then my lunch is very, very Indian. It's 2 tablespoons of rice with a good amount of dal, like a big bowl of dal. Could be any dal, different dals every day. So I try to
Mm.
get some protein. Veggies, then tofu, mushroom, all of that, so that I'm getting my proteins more.
Mm.
All the greens, all the brightly colored veggies, berries, because they're very rich in antioxidants. I don't have it with lunch, but I'll have it sometime during the day,
Sure.
maybe at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So all of that. And my night is again, like a soup or like just a bowl of dal with some or rajma or chole or chana.
Okay.
So that's how my diet is. I try and sleep. I cannot meditate. I'm a very hyper person, but I chant. So I don't when I say chant, I do the Shiv chants. So in the morning, I think at least 45 minutes goes in just chanting. And that is my meditation.
Okay. Okay.
I can't sit still and meditate. So I will chant. So I will do the whole Shiv Stotram and the Vishnu Stotram. And that is how, my meditation starts, my day starts. Yeah, I think fairly
I love
decent.
that. I love that. I'm gonna copy a couple of things from you.
So what I tried to say, the long and short of it is that
It's
skincare is just a part of, your the way your skin looks,
yeah.
but it's all holistic. So you have to exercise, you have to eat right, you have to make sure you're not smoking or drinking, or or maybe at least cut down, or be mindful, and also indulge in some form of activity that you love to do. I was just telling my staff that we're going to start dance classes for all of us. I love to dance. It's like a stress release. So I
Yeah.
said, we do classes. I do learn music. So I classical music, not classical. I don't have the time to do riyaz, but semi-classical. So I just for myself, for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bathroom singer that I am. But it's just like a nice thing to do. You can. I used to always, even in my childhood, write the diary, which now you say journaling, right?
Journaling. Yeah.
So I do that. So find your own ways and means to have some form of me time,
Hmm.
that your mind also is at peace, and that will give you more energy and more focus. You'll be able to, your solutions to your problems will come easier.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because if you're stressed, you will not be able to focus, and you will not be able to discipline yourself, and you will not be able to work in a systematic manner, and it'll eat up a lot of your time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So dad used to say, I mean, I don't know if I should say it on air, you want to edit it or what, but dad used to say that there's a difference between a donkey and a horse, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the donkey will, you put the pile of whatever, and the
Yeah.
donkey will carry
Yeah.
it from morning to
Yeah.
night.
Yes.
And the horse will take the same thing within an hour,
Correct.
So, and for that, you have to make this effort.
Hmm.
Everybody could be a horse. I mean, I'm nothing against donkeys, but
No, I know. I know
you
what you're trying to
you can
say.
all reach there.
Yeah.
You just have to train yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And that's how you actually optimize your mind, body, and soul, right? Because everyone has 24 hours, and why some people are successful and why some are not, because how you utilize what you've got. I think that's something very essential. No,
Scrolling Instagram is the worst. So I have two phones. I have this phone, and if there's no Instagram on this
really.
phone I carry to work, there's no Instagram on this.
So not distracted.
And then I have another phone which is at home, okay, or so, this one, which because I was waiting for you, so I was answering some Q and A's.
Okay.
So this one has Instagram, but this is not with me. This is only when I am at home, and I have some time, is when I look at it. So I'm, probably doing an ask me once in a week, and that's when I'm looking at it. And I'm not scrolling Instagram at night. I will read something. I love reading, so I read something and go to bed.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I also believe in that because I also have those phases where something works for me, and at that time I would do it. I'm a dancer, I'm a trained dancer, and
Oh,
I,
lovely.
yeah, and I literally, I always say that I don't dance to impress, I dance to express. And when I feel so happy, even just, when no one is watching, I'm just doing it for myself. I think it releases some sort of, I don't know, some sort of
Endorphins, positive hormones. I just told you I love to dance, and I told my staff, let's do
let's
classes.
do it. Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
clinic once in a week, shut it early, and go and join somewhere, and just
So cool.
it's such a stress buster.
Therapeutic. It
How
is good.
lovely that you're a dancer.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I think we should go dancing together. We
Yeah.
should.
Your online classes, we'll join you.
We'll join, yes, we'll join together. And just on that note, I want to ask one last thing. Everyone who's watching today, what is that one piece of advice you would give it to a girl who is looking into a mirror and feeling that she doesn't have the perfect skin, or she doesn't have the perfect equipment, or doesn't have perfect sort of serums or products because they're too expensive? What would you advise her?
I think, as I have said, we're all beautiful. We have to love ourselves. We can be the best versions of ourselves. Beauty is not about perfection, individuality is beauty. So, keeping that in mind, and do not compare yourself with anybody else, not your friend, not your relative, not your favorite actor, not your favorite influencer, because you are beautiful. And as we were discussing, beauty lies within and it shows on your face. It's important to take care of your skin. It's okay if you can't use 10 serums. Use a moisturizer, which is really inexpensive, you know, anything basic, even coconut oil, provided you don't have acne prone skin. And use a sunscreen. So these medicated sunscreens, which have just zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, don't even cost over 200-300 rupees. So you can use that. And if you still can't afford a sunscreen, then maybe you can use a physical sunscreen in the form of a scarf or a hat, or, and eat healthy. So all of us have the means to eat, to choose what we
What
eat.
to eat.
Make sure you're drinking about 2 to 3 liters of water. Make sure you're eating healthy. Some home remedies I approve of, not all. I don't want you to use tomatoes, lime, lemon, baking soda on your face, but you can use papaya. Mashed papaya is pretty safe. Do a test patch always. You know, oats are safe. Aloe vera, some people are allergic, but otherwise most
Me
are
too.
not. You can use aloe vera, but again, do a test patch and use that. Turmeric is very healthy. It's a wound healer. It's an anti-inflammatory. So you can use, basin with turmeric, with oats. Rice, everybody's been talking about rice water. This is something that we've been doing since our childhood. The country we have, I'm a South Indian, so we have, soaked rice, and for days together you have that. And you can use that water to cleanse your face. That really has got some skin
Pigmentation.
brightening properties. So you can do those. And I think stay happy and don't give the key to your happiness to anybody else. Keep it with yourself and love yourself.
I
Yes.
love that. I love that. Oh my God. It gave me goosebumps actually because it's something so simple, but it's so deep that it really, really is the essence of everything we spoke about. I'm going to let you go, but not before I ask some rapid fire questions so that we can get the most of it. So, what's the one piece of advice which you got which has stayed with you? The best advice?
You said it. Never seek validation from others.
Wow. One celebrity who you worked with has the most amazing skin, and you were like, wow.
There are so many. I've not worked with, but I love Jayaji's skin. She's got
I've met
beautiful skin.
her. I've met her, and she has beautiful skin. I think she glows at this age as well.
I
Um,
asked her during my book launch, she had come, and she was really gracious. She was very kind of her and very gracious of her. And I said, and I was asked the same question, and I said, the best skin sitting right there, Jayaji. So she said, it's fish every day. I'm a Bengali, so
I was about
it's
to say that.
omega 3. And she said, a little bit of red wine here and there. And I said, yeah, that's got resveratrol, as long as you're not overdoing it, because that has sugar again, but a little bit of red wine and a lot of fish.
A lot
She's
of
got amazing
fish.
skin.
Yes, I was about to say that because she's a Bengali and they eat a lot of fish. I'm a Gujarati and we do not eat non-veg, but we eat a lot of sugar, so that's dangerous. The worst thing you've ever seen someone put on their face.
There's so many things, from toothpaste to baking soda to lime to vinegar. I don't understand why somebody would do that, because when you're using these products, you are damaging, you're irritating the skin. The skin pH is very different from the pH of a lime, lemon, vinegar. I mean, yes, when you use maybe you say, okay, it's alpha hydroxy acid, but that's when it's processed, not when it's raw, because when it's raw, the pH is very different from the pH of your skin. And it will break the barrier, it will make the skin more sensitive over a period of time. It will also cause hyperpigmentation, because what happens is vitamin, lime, lemon, um, these have got sorolins, certain ingredients in them, which make the skin photosensitive. So
Okay.
when you apply that and expose yourself to light or sun, it turns darker,
Oh,
you
okay.
know. So yeah,
Okay. Best serum you would recommend? Vitamin C, maybe.
a brand. Are you
Yeah.
asking for a brand?
Yeah.
You know,
Or
it's difficult because every skin is different. But um, I like the La Roche-Posay. I like SkinCeuticals. Um, but again, sometimes vitamin C doesn't agree with you. Yeah, you have to do a test and see.
okay. Any miracle cure for pigmentation and open pores?
No, there are no miracles. It has to be consistent, reliable, authentic medication, creams, sun protection, sunscreen, and maybe some treatments for both of them. So you have to go to a dermatologist. Now, open pores, we all have open pores. We have 20,000 pores on our face, and they are not meant to be closed because they are openings of our oil glands.
Okay.
And natural, you know, way of the oil coming out and, exiting our skin. That's how it's supposed to be. But what happens with age is that because the collagen, which is holding that, it's like a pipe, and the collagen that's holding that and making, keeping it firm, the pores do not look so prominent. They're minuscule. But
Okay.
with age, that collagen breaks down, it becomes looser, so the pores become like more visible. They're
Evident.
large.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's not just age; it's also bad lifestyle.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes if your skin is very oily, the sebaceous gland, the oil gland, is producing a lot of oil, and that gets clogged, and then the opening dilates a little bit. So
Okay.
then you have treatments, and again retinoids and AHAs and BHAs. BHA in particular, if the skin is too oily, will reduce oil. But if it is age and collagen and elastin degradation, then it's retinol, and then it's treatments which will help.
Okay. One treatment celebrities are booking these days, which can be really miraculous.
Uh, Celebrities like me, skin boosters.
Skin booster.
Yeah, skin boosters. I think they will gradually replace fillers because they're boosting your skin, your own fibroblast to produce new collagen. So whether they are maybe a skin weave or a Restylane Vital or a Belotero Hydro to hydrate your skin, or a more intense something to firm your skin like a Profilo, or a biostimulator like a Radius or a Sculptra. So all of these, and it's a big like a variety of these boosters which are available now, biostimulators.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe when I'll come to Bombay, I'll come to you. And
Please,
maybe I'd love to be in your hands, it'll be amazing.
thank you, thank you.
And last but not least, if you meet Jaishree, who is 16 years old, trying to become a pediatrician or dreaming of becoming a pediatrician, if you meet her today, what would you tell her?
मन का हो तो अच्छा, ना हो तो और भी अच्छा.
Wow, I love that. On that note, Dr. J, thank you so much for showing everything around skin and how it's not just vanity, but it's vitality. And that our skin is not just on the surface, but it's a reflection of our health, habits, and also our emotions. So, to everyone who is listening, remember you just don't need to use 12 serums or use Instagram filters to glow. Trust your basics, protect your skin, and invest in confidence, which goes deeper than any filter. So because the flawless skin might turn heads, but the confident skin changes the story. So on that note, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, stay radiant, stay grounded, and never forget you are a force. So believe in yourself and stay powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to You Are a Force. Hit subscribe and join us next week for more powerful stories from women rewriting the rules. Until then, keep building, keep leading, and remember, you are a force.